Okay, NRL finals. Week one is now concluded. Four fantastic games. Three of the four home sides won. The only away team to win was the Sea Eagles, and we'll discuss that in a minute. And that was, in my opinion, one of the best games of finals rugby league for NRL finals I've ever seen. Honestly, that was a thriller with two very evenly matched sides. I think the Bulldogs' lack of experience at this stage of the season, considering it's been 8 years since they've made the finals, I think counted against them. Yes, they've got some veteran players in that team who've won with other teams or made grand finals with other teams, but you could see as a group that lack of experience, I think, cost them a little bit in key moments in the game. A game they should and could have won. The Sea Eagles just found a way to come back in the second half and take a very narrow win. It went down pretty much to the final kick of the game with a Burton attempted 2-point drop goal, one of two in the game. But let's start with the Panthers over the Roosters. The Roosters, I think, the injuries that they sustained at the end of the season to their spine is a concern. Some of the selections is a concern, and I do think that they may struggle to win next weekend. They do have to play the Sea Eagles, and that won't be an easy game for them. It won't be an easy game. There are, as I say, weaknesses in that spine. They are missing, Brandon Smith, Walker. There's some key players. Radley's another one. Some key players in that spine, in the creativity that are missing. The Panthers, I mean, look, they have looked vulnerable at times this season, but they win under pressure. They're aiming for four premierships in a row and 5 grand final appearances in a row, something that we haven't seen since the Great Eels side of the 80s and the Dragon side of the 60s. So they're aiming for history here, and it's looking very, very likely. They get a week off, they get a week to heal up and work on things. It's looking likely a Panthers Storm final. But in saying that, anything can and always has happened. But the Roosters, I think they are vulnerable going into next week. Panthers deserve their week off, and they are looking, well, they've got a great system. They have a great system. They are looking a well-oiled machine. The Storm beating the Sharks 37 points to 10. A lot of question marks again over the Sharks and under pressure situations and in big games. And Nico Hines as well. Is he fully fit? He hasn't had the best of seasons. The Storm, again, they're defying the odds a little bit. When are they going to drop off? I mean, they've had 14 consecutive seasons making the top 8. That is a ridiculous run of success. Admittedly, there obviously was that period just before this long run where they were stripped of titles and had a wooden spoon because of salary cap breaches, but they have built a system under Craig Bellamy that continues to produce results regularly. There's been a few seasons in recent times where they dropped off a little bit in the finals since winning in 2020, but they're aiming to get back to their first grand final since 2020, and they're looking scary. The Sharks, they're still, from where they were when Fitzgibbon takes over to where they are now, they have improved. There are still areas of improvement required, and again, I think the Sharks could find it difficult against the Cowboys. The Cowboys coming off a really good win against Newcastle, 28 points to 16. Cowboys, they've had a bit of an inconsistent run on the top paint, and they've been good at times, indifferent at times, but again, in a crucial knockout game, they pulled it out, used their home advantage to their advantage. The Newcastle Knights obviously getting very, very lucky making the top 8. They haven't played. The Newcastle Knights are an enigma, much like the Cowboys. I think Adam O'Brien is under a lot of pressure. Will he still be the coach at the start of next season? We shall see. They're too reliant on Kalen Ponga. Other players didn't step up, and it looks like there's going to be a big clear out up in the Hunter Valley. But the Cowboys, a good solid win, and a good win for Peyton's side. They've got some players leaving at the end of this season. They've got some good young players up in northern Queensland, and what's to say they can't go on a run to the grand final? It's very possible they could do that. The Sharks do look vulnerable following that defeat against the Storm, and so they have a very, very good opportunity. Now, of course, it's all about, can they repeat what they did against Newcastle, against the Sharks? Can they put in back-to-back performances, we shall see. The Bulldogs Sea Eagles. Now, this is the game where the only home side to lose lost, and that was the Bulldogs. They lost 22 points to 24 in a thrilling match. I mean, in the first half, it did look like the Bulldogs had the Sea Eagles all over the place. It really did. They were the better side in the first half. Carraz started the scoring early, Kickow with a good try as well. And they were really testing the Sea Eagles' right edge defence and punching holes. Game management let the Bulldogs down. The Sea Eagles clung in there. Bullimore's try, I mean, look, there's a lot of question marks over the pass and over the did he cleanly collect the kick? Did he, was there a knock on in collecting the ball from the kick, and was the pass forward? Well, the pass was forward. Let's not kid ourselves. It is frustrating that the bunker doesn't review on forward passes. That needs to be a rule change. If we're going to review on knock-ons, undergrounding, and downward pressure and offsides, forward passes need to be reviewable, because if that try isn't given, I don't think the momentum swings towards the Sea Eagles in the second half. That was a crucial moment towards the end of the first half. But I think the Bulldogs, again, their discipline let them down at key points, and their game management let them down at key points. I think the emotion of the occasion got the better of some of these inexperienced players in the Bulldogs side in their first outing in finals. But for me, it was a fantastic game to watch as a neutral. You wanted to see the Bulldogs do well and go on a bit of a run. But at the same time, the Sea Eagles, they clung in there. They had better discipline in the second half, which was crucial. And they used their captain's challenges quite well. There are some concerns about fitness of some players, like Tom Trbojevic, struggling with what looked like a shoulder injury and potentially a knee problem. Wasn't at 100%, and that was exposed by the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs' kicking game and attack, they did expose him. But in saying that, I mean, Luke Brooks has now finally played in finals and won a finals game. So there's that to think about as well. Considering all the issues that were at the West Tigers, he played well. Was it his best game? No. He was targeted defensively by the Bulldogs, but that was a fantastic game to watch on a Sunday morning here over in the UK. The stadium atmosphere was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Even though the stadium wasn't fully sold out, the atmosphere that both sets of fans gave was fantastic. And the Sea Eagles will be taking on a vulnerable Roosters side, but injuries could play a part for both sides. The Panthers and the Storm get the week off. So only 2 matches next weekend. We'll see how the Cowboys do against the Sharks and the Sea Eagles against the Roosters. You have to feel for the Bulldogs a little bit, but it's been a fantastic season for the Bulldogs, all things considered, from where they were when Serrano took over to where they are now. And it also has been a long time since they've made the top 8. I think they'll learn from this experience, and next year they will come back stronger. I have no doubt on that. Newcastle, I have concerns about Newcastle and the future of Adam O'Brien as head coach and the squad structure at Newcastle. The Sharks, tough learning curve for them. They've been a bit inconsistent at points this season as well. They had that down spell in the middle of the season. I think that's had an impact, and fitness of key players. And the Roosters, the injury crisis at the Roosters, I mean, I think that could be their undoing this season. They've had a fantastic regular season. They can score points when they're all singing off the same hymn sheet, but their depth in key positions is now being tested, and injuries, I think, could undo them. But the Panthers and the Storm deserve their week off. It's going to be a thrilling second week of finals next weekend. Of course, the NRLW also reaches its conclusion in the regular season, so we'll see who makes the top 4 there. But from me for now, thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts in the comment section below. How did you see the results going? Did you predict these results? Are you happy or frustrated, with your team? But from me for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll have some more content for you guys very, very soon. Also, don't forget that memberships are now available. So if you want to become a member, just click on the membership button, which should be down below the video. And of course, there will be a live stream later this evening, and super chats are also now available. But from me for now, thank you very much for watching, and I'll have some more content for you guys very, very soon.